And on the line, one of my buddies, I love you, Jimmy Mack of Jimmy Mack and the Cool Cats. Aloha, Jimmy. How are you?
Doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I've been following your story, and the story is an interesting one that I think other people really need to know about. And I have, I guess, extra empathy for what you're going through because I'm an independent contractor also. So you've been trying to get unemployment insurance that is available for independent contractors. Is that, in a sentence, correct?
Well, that is correct. I've been doing actually quite a bit of things to try to help people, but the main thing on the unemployment insurance is that when they passed the stimulus package, unbelievably, they included independent contractors. Up until now, if you're an independent contractor, you could not collect unemployment insurance because you're not an employee. So that left all musicians, for the most part, or entertainers,
Mm-hmm.
and other people too, with no source of income. But somehow, whoever, Democrats, Republicans, whoever added this, said, okay, independent contractors you could get, I think, $600 a month and something else. The problem is that's the federal government, and that's where it's all. The federal government is not giving any information to the state about how to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody knows that to apply for unemployment insurance, when you can get on, which you can't get on, it takes a pretty good while to get on. There's one form, and then they haven't figured out another form. This is probably going to take a while to do. I've had several letters. I've talked to all our congressmen in Tulsi and Mazie, and they've all said that they're going to work on it. And then I got a letter, I can't remember.
From Brian Schatz?
Yeah, I got a letter from Brian, I think, and he had contacted somebody, and they said that Scott Mercami, I guess, is the head of the unemployment insurance, said,
for unemployment for Hawaii?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And said that it was going to take a while, and they didn't understand exactly how to do it, if they had to make a new form or how you had to cross it out. But one person in the state suggested that I go ahead and fill it out, and on different lines where it said employer on the form, you had to put your name in this. It's called the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Act,
Mm-hmm.
and you put that on there.
Oh, you actually put that on there. So this is really important, folks, because what happens, it's so easy to get frustrated, like you just didn't give up. Most people would have given up, and you didn't give up. You kept at it and tried to get answers. But this is important, folks, because what happens is, like you said, it's not easy to even get on the site. But if you get on the site and you don't fill it out correctly, you can be kicked off the site. Did that happen to you? Did you get just...
I haven't followed, for me, myself, I haven't followed up. If I get it, fine. If I go... I mainly did this for my band.
Okay.
And other entertainers that I know that sometimes need information.
Mm-hmm.
We're all sitting at home, and I'm sitting in front of a computer. And then I'd sit here and try to figure out ways that, people can get income.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of them. It's frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the computer last night, and nobody's getting their unemployment insurance check that I know of, at least according to Facebook. I'll put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
It's the news source of all time right now, and because they're overwhelmed. I mean,
Yes.
If you saw what I posted yesterday, we over have 200,000 people apply for unemployment insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Astronomical. But if they had 100 people working, they could do maybe 48 cases, each person 48 cases or 40 cases a day. So that's $4,000.
Wow.
4,000 cases a day. Divide that into, $2,000. I mean, it takes a while, so that's not great news. But there's other ways of trying to get out, trying to get some money if you're an entertainer. One of the first ideas I came up with, and it's working, I don't know how much money is coming into it, was that John Henry, if you know him, owns the Maui Coffee Addict, and Kathy Collins is doing this live feed.
Yeah, we're sponsoring it.
So that was an idea I came up with and got with him. He was in New Zealand, and then he got Kathy on board, and Kathy actually got the mayor on board that they were allowed to do it. And they have your PayPal. It's like a live feed that you could actually do from your house, too, if you wanted to. But it has your PayPal address, and was it Venmo?
Yeah, Venmo, yeah.
Address that people can donate money to. And it may not be much, but it goes out, I don't know, to wherever it is.
Well, there's a lot of people sharing it. It's Facebook Live on Fridays and Saturdays, and we've had some amazing musicians. It kicked off with John Cruz the first weekend, and it was Sal Godinez this last weekend, and others, and really good musicians who are participating in it. And yeah, it's been excellent, I have to say. I don't know if you've had a chance to watch. Have you watched it yet?
I watch it every Saturday.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, well, Kevin, who's an excellent videographer. I've known Kevin for years. He does all the work over there at the Mac for their video. He's doing the video, and he's excellent. And there's good sound. And, some of these things we're watching on Facebook Live, they're just like, off a phone in the living room. But this is actually professionally done, and it looks good. And I have to say the music's been top quality. It's not just thrown together. These are musicians doing good music from the Maui Coffee Addict.
No, it's great. I mean, I have, my hat's off to John for doing it. And because it takes a lot of time. I mean, there's no doubt. He doesn't make any money off of it, and Kathy Collins doesn't make any money. They're doing it all for Kukua.
Yeah, and we're sponsoring it here on the Buzz 107.5 and our station, so we're doing it too, just for free as a donation. Yeah.
So I just hope people can. If people donate $5. It'd be great, because these people have no other way of making an income. Because if you're waiting on the pandemic unemployment assistance program, you're probably going to be waiting a while.
I'm going to repeat what I printed out, that letter from Brian Schatz, U.S. Senator Brian Schatz, to you. If people do want to try, and this is important information that you got from him. It says, when you file for unemployment benefits with the Hawaii Department of Labor and Industrial Relations, otherwise known as DLIR, the website may not have an option to file for unemployment benefits as a self-employed worker. This is the key here.
No, they don't.
Yeah, and DLIR is currently advising independent contractors and self-employed workers to file via the same form as other workers, okay? And that's HUI claims 2020.hawaii.gov and then /initial-claim. And you'll find it if you go there to HUI claims.2020 Hawaii. And although standard form is not tailored to self-employed workers, you should fill it out to the best of your ability, and DLIR will contact you if it needs more information. So what you're saying, and what I'm getting about this, is you still use this form and just put yourself in as a name in.
Right. Under employer, put your name in, independent contractor, and then make sure you put Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program.
And does it matter where you put that?
No, you put that next to, there's not that many lines you can put that on. So you have to put that next to your name on the employer. So your name goes on the employer. Now, there's some, they'll ask you how much money you make a week, and you can't really say that, so you have to guess about that. And I put down the last job I did was just March or something like that. There's a few spots, and then at the end of it is how they pay you. You're much better off if you give them a routing number in your bank account. A lot of people won't want to do that. But checks will take a lot longer.
I have heard that same thing about the money that's supposedly coming from the government, that if you give them the direct deposit to your bank, you could save months of time.
Right. If you're waiting for the stimulus package check, and you had direct deposit on your 2018 or 2019 taxes, you get your money before somebody would get it with a check, supposedly. This is all, I'm saying these statements. I'm not sure of anything. I'm just doing a lot of research.
Yeah.
Another thing that a lot of people may or may not be aware of is the Small Business Paycheck Protection Program, which is actually a loan, but if you use the money that you're borrowing to pay your employees, you supposedly don't have to pay it back.
And that's an important one, and that you can get. You've probably been there, but the Chamber of Commerce. If you go to MauiChamber.com, Maui Chamber has all of these links, by the way, to all of those things that you need to fill out. There's probably, I found about 25 links for people who want to find the right one. And it is confusing, but it's worth, if you have time in your home anyway, it's definitely worth. That Paycheck Protection is supposed to be done correctly, and it can be used. Some of these programs we have to be aware of. You can't double dip. In other words, if you're getting money from one, and they find out in some of these programs that you're getting money from the other, it could take away from the other programs. You have to be careful about that, right?
Everybody should be honest in this thing. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just like, if you need it. This was real good, and a lot of people may or may not know about this one. Is that Henry Capono? He has a foundation, along with Foodland, are giving out $50 gift cards.
I didn't know that.
And if you go on to the website of Henry Capono Foundation, they'll give you the information of how to apply for that. It started April 4th, I believe.
Well, isn't that wonderful? Good for Henry and Foodland.
I think it goes up to $50,000. So, another one that doesn't have to do much with entertainers, but it's actually pretty good if you're a restaurant employee. You should check out the National Restaurant Association Educational Foundation, because they were giving out $500 grants.
I hadn't heard that one either. Where did you find out about that?
I just sit here on the computer.
You're sitting there at your computer.
And sometimes they come up. Applications start on April 2nd on that.
That's a National Restaurant Foundation?
It says a National Restaurant Association Educational Foundation has created something called the Restaurant Employee Relief Fund. So you'd have to go under one of those two, I assume.
Now, have you heard about the micro business loan program that the Chamber is doing? The county committed $1 million to the program. This is for people that make $750,000 a year or less, so that's small. It's for small businesses, less than 10 employees. That includes the boss and their part-time workers. But you can get 5-year loans that go up to $15,000 and 7-year loans up to $25,000. And that was directly from the county here, and that's at MauiChamber.com. And that Chamber's number is 244-0081, 244-0081. And I think this micro business loan program might even be good for bands and people like you. I don't know if that would be under the same program or not. It's what you do.
If you want to take I'm pretty much trying to do things that are granted, because people are really hesitant to take loans out, especially now. So the Paycheck Protection Program is good because if you use it for your employees, you don't have to pay it back. Bold statement on my part. I'm sure there's...
Yeah. No, I've heard that.
I'm sure there's a lot of... what do you call it? Just a lot of...
Red tape?
Red tape there. But, I mean, it's worth investigating. Definitely what's worth investigating over all of this is the Mortgage Relief Fund from the SBA. The SBA, if your mortgage is insured by the federal government, you have many options. that you don't have to pay your mortgage. I mean, there's not quite as many options as if it's not insured by the federal government. 50% supposedly of loans are insured by the federal government. So if your listeners can go to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and somewhere navigate to mortgage relief. I mean, all I did last night was Google, mortgage relief, and it came up. So I just don't have the address right here.
Well, and of course you do very interesting posts on Facebook, and your Facebook site is under your Jimmy Mack name?
It's under Jim Mclemore, and most of the stuff I do is under Jim Mclemore.
Okay.
It's connected to Jimmy Mack and the Cool Cats, but I try to keep those two different, especially on some of my posts.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And when, as a musician and many people with bands, what are you thinking of starting to rebooking? Is fall, mid-August? When?
I'm getting some bookings for fall.
Uh-huh.
We're in unscheduled territory.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely true. Yeah.
And everybody's trying to figure out a way of it all coming back. And, I have and this goes to the other thing that I've been trying to figure out here is like all of the coronavirus, how it's all affecting Maui and stuff like that. And I've been posting on my Facebook page a video from KITV from Dr. Scott Miskowitz, I guess.
Yes.
Who's is doing all these testing, it's the drive-up testing that you see, because the state's not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
This is something I feel everybody should know, and it's my feeling only. If you're waiting for the state or the federal government to do something, you're going to be waiting a very long time.
Yep.
You need to take things on yourself. Instead of calling the unemployment insurance, call your state representatives.
Mm-hmm.
If enough people call their state representatives and say, hey, what's going on, they can find out what's going on. And they have a lot more power than you do of getting your information. Because literally, if you're trying to call the unemployment insurance, you can stay on the phone all day. You can just press redial, redial, and maybe you'll get paid, maybe you won't.
Well, it's true, and so you did this, and I applaud you for reaching out to the senators, and you did get response. I mean, that's something. You at least got people that did respond to you.
Yeah, but for the unemployment insurance, you can do Tulsi and all these people, the 4 congressmen who have working here, but the state congressmen will be better to do. As many as if you have 5,000 or 6,000 people call up this, Shiro, is it? Who's our Kyle?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're going to get tired of listening to the phone. And to be honest, you control them. You reelect them, or you don't reelect them. So they're the people that put the pressure on the state. You call the unemployment insurance company, it's not going to put the pressure on anything. You'll hopefully get some information about your account, but it's pretty frustrating trying to get a hold of them. I understand, they don't have enough people. Maybe they should hire more people. But,
yeah.
But
I appreciate you doing all of this research, and some of it was absolutely great. If you can email any of that, I'll keep getting the word out over our radio stations because you did some really good research that's helpful, Jimmy. And I hope you get to get back with your band and playing soon. I know how much you love to play, so the best to you on that. And thank you so much for calling in and giving us that information.
Well, if people want to put me on their Facebook, it's under Jim Mclemore, McLemore. Most of the information I post there, I posted under both the music groups, Maui musicians and Maui music, on their Facebook page. All the information I get. Sometimes you can just rewrite my political posts, so it's and look for the information because I'm constantly trying to figure out ways to help the musicians on Maui because, I mean, there's just no way they're making any money. And they have families.
Mm-hmm.
You have family, and they need to make some money. But closing out here, just everybody goes to the Maui Coffee Attic. And it's 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock.
On the Facebook side, not in person,
Saturday.
on Facebook, yeah.
On Facebook, you go to Maui Coffee Attic and their Facebook page. Kathy Collins there, and if you can spare $5 like a cover charge if you went and saw a band, it adds up after a while. It gives them something to eat. And it's fairly simple. You just go to their PayPal account and get a PayPal account or whatever and put it in there. But please support your musicians and entertainers on Maui if you need your help.
So true. Well, thank you for everything you're doing, Jimmy Mack. We love you.
All right, love you too.
Take care.
Stay well.
Bye-bye.